Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Aqua7729, Tristan, Dazzleotto, whatever you like to call me. I do content. But what kind? Quite simple. I talk to people on the internet and I play video games. Pretty easy stuff. I'm a former cult member, a former Jehovah's Witness, so I try to make this a safe place for everybody, but I do talk about such subjects such as politics, theology, religion, and philosophy. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for joining. We get to look at chat, and the first one to come by is one of my favorite mods, Crooked Eye, saying, oh hi, oh hey, and I say hello, and they've got a 150 stream streak. Damn! I find it funny that unless Soul messes up, you will never beat my favorite man. You will never beat my favorite man, but 150 stream streak. Thank you so much for watching for half a year. Jesus Christ. Almost half a year. Well, not quite. It'll be closer to like 175, but still. That's a long time. I'm dedicated. Soul is. And we have Geeks coming in saying Butterfree and Hey Aqua, and we got Soul saying just Soul things. My favorite man. But yeah, 175 I guess is closer to a year. Or is it? It'd be closer to like 180. Yeah, 180. Anyways, today we're playing Project Zomboid. Can you make a bridge for me? A bridge to Terabithia? And, yeah. Oh! Crooked! So I did something that I probably didn't have to do today. And I'm going to talk about it now, because, like, the people here... I'm going to talk about it now, because you're one of the interesting people to say this to, and Soldier Rat will understand, but I did something that I shouldn't have done. Anyways, I was doom scrolling, as you do when you're recovering from illness and stuff like do, and I'm like, do. And because, you know, my algorithm is well and truly fact, I occasionally run into the occasional preacher. And most of the time I just flip up because I've heard preaching all my life. I've done preaching most of my life. But this title caught my eye, and it was on Christian persecution. You changed your shirt today. Yeah, I change it every day. I don't wear the same shirt 2 days in a row. But I may wear it the same week. Anyways, so I saw on Christian persecution. And he was going on about, you know, Christians' persecution and how they're no part of the world and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just like, well, I mean, if they do it to me, I gotta do it to them. Anyways, I made a slight comment, and I said, Christians being persecuted is by far one of the most laughable prospects in our modern day and age, right? Maybe, like, definitely maybe in the first 100, maybe 200 years of their beginning, I could see it because they didn't have any sort of, you know, social, economic, or political power behind them. And there are certainly regimes that exist that have hurt them. And there are certain places in this modern day and age where Christians do get hurt, right? Like, that's just the thing, right? How to get a visa of South Africa and India. We have stupid like Modi, deliberately diverting whole wealth of the nation towards Ambani and Adani, corruption totally organized in India. I don't go to I don't live in South Africa, so I wouldn't know how to get a visa to South Africa. And I'm like, they're like, the immediate hostility towards that statement. Did you ever vote conservative? No. Conservatives tend not to align with the values that I have. Although the Conservative Party of Canada is not something that I dislike necessarily. I hate their current leadership right now because he's just a populist bastard. But, you know, it's not that I have a necessary problem with the Conservative Party of Canada. Sometimes they do some good policy. Sometimes they've done some good work. Parliamentary systems are pretty cool. Yeah. Come get this kitty. No. Anyways, I'm going to the casino to get pregnant. Well, usually you go there to lose money. So good luck. So, the immediate hostility towards me saying that was insane. And they're like, there has been no group that has been oppressed more than Christians. And I'm like, atheists have been more oppressed than Christians throughout all of history. I'll take that as a yes. I mean, sure, I guess. But I'm like, atheists have been more oppressed throughout history than Christians have. And the immediate hostility, it was so hostile as soon as I said that. And like, he was calling for hellfire, he was calling me evil, he was calling me wicked, despicable. And it was funny because one of the rules of his chat was be respectful, right? And I wasn't doing anything, like, I was just saying that I find this to be a ridiculous statement personally, right? Maybe, but it was interesting, the immediate hostility towards that. Yeah, he is ironically proving your point. I know! And I'm like, yeah, no, atheists have throughout history been oppressed not just by Christians, but by every religious group that has ever existed. Because atheists, for most of human history, have never held any sort of political, social or economic power. It isn't until probably the Renaissance that they gained some, like, they started being allowed to live. Maybe a little bit before the Renaissance, where they were allowed to live. But anyways, it was fascinating to watch that, and then I immediately got banned from it. From that thing, and it was incredible. Aren't Freemasons atheists? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure they're not. Or at least not institutionally. Yeah. Yeah, they're not institutionally atheists. They're just... They don't profess any specific religion. You can be an atheist and be a Freemason, but you can also be a Christian or Muslim or whatever. Oh! You cannot be an atheist, apparently. No, apparently, certain Freemasons, you cannot be an atheist. Interesting. At least, not institutionally. Fascinating. I did not know this. Can you propose a way to deprogram a flat Earth cultist? The only way you can beat flat Earth cultism is by making sure that its propaganda cannot spread, right? You don't fix it by curing the stupidity. You fix it by vaccinating the rest of people that may be inclined to look these up. And how do you vaccinate against stupidity? Education, right? Teach people and children and adults and everything. Make sure education is readily apparent, readily available, and for them to be able to look at these things. Eventually, because at the end of the day, when it comes to cults people don't... they do not... Like, the whole point of cults is to, like, completely disavow critical thinking. And to take those critical thinking skills away from them, like, the only way they're going to ever do that is by them choosing to be, like, actually learn. At least this vaccine doesn't cause autism. Yeah, it's a good thing that vaccines just in general don't cause autism. Can I get a witness? Have a good one, I guess. But yeah, so in the end of the day, you can't fix someone who is so inclined in this way. the best thing you can do is to teach others. Be part of the system that encourages education and critical thinking skills. I think the shirt is the reason you're an atheist in the first place. No, I got the shirt long after I became an atheist. I think it's an adorable shirt. It's an adorable shirt. I love it. The autistic children, the Masons, trust me, I worked with them with money. You have what? Yes, I do. The studies have been published months ago. So this is an example of you not going to be able to change people's minds, right? So the vaccines causing autism debate has been around for an unfortunate amount of time. And unfortunately, people don't know, A, how vaccine, this person evidently doesn't know how, A, vaccines works, B, how modern vaccines works, or C, any of the actual data correlating. Remember that correlation does not equate causation, and a whole bunch of the other things. Vaccines are, by far, one of the most safest things, and as far as we know, autism is is entirely genetic, has nothing to do from outside sources, right? The whole Tylenol causes autism thing is, once again, just another extension of the vaccines causing autism debate. It intrigues me greatly to hear talk about cults, as I used to indirectly lecture on them when I spoke about the consequences of ostracism. Yeah, that's what cults do. If they can't control you, they will treat you as the outsider, and the outsider is evil, right? Since autism is highly correlated with intelligence, you can make the argument that people who are dumb enough to worry about it aren't smart enough to have kids with autism. And Ground Up, thank you for the subscription. Hello, Snookit. What is Tylenol? Is it just because I'm not American? Tylenol is acetaminophen, correct? That's just acetaminophen, right? Yeah, it's acetaminophen. Tylenol is just a brand for acetaminophen. It's a painkiller. Typically. Aqua, explain your Discord title. My Discord title? What's my Discord title? What Discord title? Hello, how your visions about relationships changed when you turned an atheist? Not much. How do I feel about relationships? Not much. I love people. Care about people? I don't know. I need, specifics. Paracetamol, then? I'm not sure. Paracetamol. Oh, yeah. They're the exact same thing. They're the exact same thing. It's a generic name brand in the UK. Yeah. Cat, yes, his name is Odin. Hey guys, found another on my wife's grave today. Oh, unfortunate. What notification vexed? You do look like someone who would be in a cult. Interesting. I wonder what you would think would be part of that. Discord. Oh, that. It's just because of the thing above me. Wilbur. It's just because of Wilbur. Are religions and cults different in your eyes, and what cult were you in? Yes, they are. Religions are established doctrines, beliefs, systems, traditions. Cults are synonymous with high control groups. And if you want to see what cult I was in, just check the pinned comment. Hi, I'm trying to explain to my parents that I'm atheist. How would I do that, and how would I tell them it isn't the same as Satanism? Oh boy. Okay. That one delusional. First of all, make sure that it's safe to do so. Not every culture is safe to be an atheist, right? Second, Satanism, whilst you know, modern day Satanism is usually linked with atheism, just because of like the American Satanist Society. At the end of the day, the only way to explain it to them is that you don't believe in Satan either. Right? Satan is a fictional character to you, right? If it matters for you to say it to them, right? Like, tell them the only person in this house that currently believes Satan exists is you two, right? That might be a little, like, engagement, but they might take it as you know, harming your soul by doing that, right? So, yeah, my parents are devoted, so this is going to be a tough one, thank you, though. Yeah, at the end of the day, just say that you're still, like, you still love them, things haven't changed between you two. Make sure that you just, like, it's just not something that I wish to participate in anymore. And if they're decent parents, they will be like, they may not like it. They're probably not going to like it, no matter how you say it, no matter what you do. Because they're taught to do that. But if they're good parents, they'll be like, okay, well, that's your life, right? We don't have to like everything you do. You don't have to be like, say that their religion is a fairy tale. You don't have to be particularly antagonistic, even though sometimes it can feel like you are just by saying you are one. Right? Just say that you're... Could be for any number of reasons. For me personally, I can't be a Christian because their beliefs and their belief structure and how they operate is something that I find immoral. But that doesn't mean that I don't think it should exist. There are plenty of things in society that I don't think should be a thing, but we do. Jesus' teachings are wonderful, I just don't get down with the whole faith stuff. Jesus' teachings are fine enough. Everything surrounding that is useless or downright harmful. I feel like we as a society can do better than Jesus' teachings, but, you know. Overall, like, I don't find a problem necessarily with Jesus' teachings. Like, it's fine to love your neighbor as thyself. It's fine to, you know, do that. Odin, I need you to, like, stop. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're bothering the stream. Actually, you're bothering me. The stream probably adores you. Probably more than me, honestly. Judging by your shirt, I can tell you're an idiot. Why? Eduardo, what's wrong with the shirt? Huh? What's wrong with the shirt, and how can you tell I'm an idiot based on it? Oh my gosh, does he have a freckle? Not a freckle, but he does have a black smudge here. If you can just go up here. It's what I call his eye patch. It's his eye patch because he's Odin, right? Judging by that guy's comment, he's an idiot. Okay, Odin, I need to stream. That's a lovely ferret. Yes, he's definitely a ferret. There's no question in my mind that he is a ferret. Ignore Eddie's comments. He forgot his daily meds. It's fine. I get those comments every day. Namely because I have atheist in my thing, so, yeah. Find a nap, man. What do you mean? Think about it. Something truly divine debases itself by going down to our level and washing the feet of the lowliest of his own creations. Yeah, but said divine has instituted slavery, instituted sex slavery, instituted sexism, instituted patriarchal hierarchy, right? And that's before him. And then he continues to say that that's okay after Jesus comes in, right? Jesus never says that, women are not supposed to be equal to men at any point. He never says that slavery is explicitly bad and never is supposed to be done. And he never condemns what his father or himself has done in the past. Right? Just based on that. What call were you at? New YouTube machine? Check the pinned comments. Oh my god, is that a sword? 2 of them, actually. But they're just training swords. Having truly no pride, which is where divinity comes from, none of us mere humans can reach true selflessness. Yeah, but neither apparently can God. Or the God of the Bible. The problem is if you eschew the Bible, then you eschew Jesus' teachings, because he based a lot of his teachings on the Old Testament. In fact, he referenced the Old Testament several times. Who said sex slavery is okay? Yahweh. Yahweh. As well as chattel slavery. I'm also an atheist and agree with all that, what you say, but the story of Jesus I think could be very valuable for a moral compass. Okay, that's fine. The problem is I feel like we can do better. That's all. We don't need him to guide us. I feel like we can do even better than we currently are to this day, and who we are as a people are better than what Jesus was back in the day, right? I feel like we as a society have created societies that Jesus would condemn, not because, not for good reasons. Where did you get that information? Numbers 31, 17, and 18, the Bible. Nothing's wrong with the shirt, it's a cute one. Yeah, I love it. I adore it. Also, you doing good? Also, I haven't even booted up my game yet. Everybody's already talking. So I get my information about Yahweh through the texts that people reference. That is where I do get my information regarding Yahweh, as how I would get my information about Allah through the Quran, and how I get my information about, like, Vishnu through the Bhagavad Gita. You might truly an atheist, however you will truly get over it. I doubt that. We can, I think. It's a useful tool to help us reach Christians and explain to them how our current act doesn't even align with their own faith and their teachings. That I can agree with. It's a good bridge, right? Jesus died on the cross for all our sins, so those who will believe will go to heaven and not hell. It's that simple. It's not that simple. Because, why are we sinful in the first place? The not having pride comment makes believers look like it's supposed to go hand in hand with being law-abiding. Not sure what you're getting at. Aligns with the principles of communism? Fair. I don't believe in your choice of music. That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to listen if you don't like it. But yeah, Jesus was actually fairly conservative for his day, specifically around the context of marriage. What is YouTube today? A lot. How long have I been streaming for? Not even half an hour. And I haven't been able to play a game. I haven't even opened up my game yet. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future I'll just have days where I just talk to people if I get big enough. We're going to gain class consciousness one day, I know it. Well, I think people are aware of it to a certain degree. And I don't think necessarily communism is going to fix that. But I am a socialist, so. You sound like an idiot. It's obvious that you think you're smart, but trust, bro, you sound like a pretentious little bitch. I'm glad you have come to this certain understanding of me within the first 5 minutes of understanding of hearing me talk. I'm sure that your ability to analyze people is just as robust as your writing ability. Jesus said, stop sinning. Now, not I'm going to die for everybody's sins. Okay, what is sin? New YouTube machine. What is sin? I don't know much, but I'm quite certain hamburgers and cheeseburgers go with fries. Brendan Hall, I agree with you. Oh my god, cat in a box. Yes, I do, Conrad. The guy was mean. Why is he insulting you? That's kind of weird, right? I get that every single day. Lol, like I said. Isn't that just a form of Kafkaism? Is Waxy just trying to Kafka me? Any response I give is evidence for his worldview. You say a non-verifiable thing about someone's character, and then any response they give is just going to make you say that, and then you say that it'll assert your viewpoint. It's just a form of Kafkaism. It's just a Kafka argument. Damn, Aqua, you did him dirty. Love, even though it's not their fault. I mean, it's totally their fault, but they will react the way they do. I think it's their fault, totally. Anyways, I think I can open up the game now. Yippee! Hate's a choice, it's sad many choose it. It is what it is. They're angry at the constraints of capitalism. Lord Jesus, cover this chat with your peace and protection. Rebuke all darkness, negativity, and evil. Fill every heart with love, faith, and hope. Bless everyone here and their families. Amen. Whilst I can appreciate your comments as being filled with love, I prefer to not have magical invocations in my chat. Please remember that for next time. Eh? You just can't say eh? What? Eh? I mean, I'm Canadian. We say eh all the time. Alright, now I can open up my game. I think YouTube chat has calmed down just enough for me to enjoy my game. Doesn't mean I won't stop talking. I think it's calmed down just enough. Who's cutting the onions? Why are you crying, Vexed? What's wrong? Which kind of socialist? I'm middle way. I'm a demo socialist myself. In my country, I think NDP's got it pretty good. Like, it most closely aligns with what I think we should be trying to do. I'm not a full-on communist. I like a mixed market. Right? I don't think we need to abolish the free market. I just think it just needs to be heavily regulated. Like, heavily regulated. Which you could say that's not the free market. I'm like, well, no, I still think we should have, like, entrepreneurs and stuff like that. That's fine. It's fine to have that class setting. But for me, I'm under the ideal of Aqua 7002. Am I being ignored? I don't think so. That's... Hi! So we have an imposter in chat. But yeah, I'm a democratic socialist. I believe that both unions should have a say in government. We should have larger unions. And we should have... stronger social protections for the working class. Which is similar to Nordic socialism. Which people will tell you, that's not real socialism. It's just capitalism with a heavy welfare state. And I'm like, well, whatever it is, it's doing better than anywhere else. Ramblings Jess. Cult like witchcraft? No. Cults as in high control group, Rambling Jess. If you check the pinned comment, you'll see which cult I was a part of. Aqua. My crush is a cult member. I am not into it, but I want her so bad. What do I do? She is so... I am not. My boy. My boy Aqua. Run. That's the only solution I can give to you. Run. Run. If she's part of a cult, there is nothing you can do. Just gotta walk away from that one. Believe me, it's not worth it. What would you do in a democratic socialist government? Well, what do you mean, what would I do? In a, like, what do you mean? Like, as a job, or as a, would I want to, if I was part of parliament, or what? How do we wash the magic off ourselves? With fairy dust. Is it a good game? This game is very good. It's fairly... As a job, I mean, it depends. Right? There's a lot of different things. There's a lot... Like, generally, a democratic socialist government is going to have all the same jobs as everybody else, right? And because the free market is going to be there, there's going to be strong market forces for jobs that have high stuff. But also within the idea of a democratic socialist, you would generally definitely want to nationalize education in the sense of making it free when it's actually just subsidized through taxes. So, I would probably, me personally, I would like to be a therapist because I'd like to be a therapist now, right? Or me personally, I wouldn't mind being, part of politics, right? Being an MP or whatever. But, those all require lots of different things. Jesus is waiting for you. Where? Where? In these days, the Lord exhorts his beloved children to enter the new land. Oh. I think we should get rid of all religion, making illegal any I would be very careful with that, right? In a secular society, you can't do that, right? In a secular society, you have to allow people to believe in general. Doesn't matter if it's religious, doesn't matter if it's atheist or disbelief, yeah. Do you think Jesus Christ lived 2,000 years ago? A guy named Yeshua probably, most likely existed. Look up and you shall see. Jesus? Oh my God. You were right there the whole time. But yeah, there was a guy named Yeshua. Started a following, he started a cult, and it balloons into a thing. Anyways, I'm a secular humanist. We must allow all forms of belief, as long as they're not harming or encroaching on other people's rights, even if we don't personally agree with it. That is the best for society. Like, I personally do not agree with Christianity in any way. How is it free market if you're nationalizing everything like education? Not everything. I don't want to nationalize everything, but education, healthcare, and having strong unions, like incredibly strong unions, protects the nation, right? It protects the nation and the working class, right? You're not nationalizing everything, right? So that's your first mistake. You don't nationalize everything. I still think we should have a free market, right? But you should not have your healthcare or your education be for profit. There's a few other things as well, but anything, like, there are certain things that should not be for profit, period, in any system. Because they will produce worse results for the people. And a democratic socialist country, your job is to be whatever they told you to. No, that's communism. You're mixing up socialism and communism. Do you think miracles are possible? No. Do you think he's real? I don't know who's he's in this offset. Can you explain why we have to let them do that? It's 2026. We don't need to believe in things we have explanations for. According to Christians, they will be hunting the future law. I wouldn't be surprised. Because the ability to believe is a fundamental right that we give to people in a secular society. Our ability to grant that is far better than trying to take away and enforce a belief in, or a belief in even a non-belief. That's why. Oh, well, John's gonna get out of here. Oh. Give me a sec. There we go. Move. It all fell apart because it has a crackdown on free will in the end. Huh? Is belief in religion in first world countries declining? Slightly. Not as fast as people are saying, and not as slow as other people are saying. It's probably a slight decline, but it'll probably stabilize out to a certain point. What's hilarious about JW is they believe that only 144,000 could go to heaven, yet they have already more followers than that. Well, yes, because they believe in a two-tiered system. Most people are not the 144,000, the others are, right? Most JWs do not believe they're going to heaven, and for them, that's fine. Politics is such a toxic realm to be in, you've got more courage than me. I mean, absolutely, but it needs to be done. If we live in a culture, we live in a society, right? And I think that my contributions to that and being able to talk and being able to, empathize and see from other people's point of view and being able to talk in front of people and work with people is something that I'm naturally good at. So that's why I wouldn't mind going into politics. I wouldn't mind. I have zero money to be able to do that, so I do not expect to be able to go into politics anytime soon in my country, but maybe. I guess that can backfire. My idea is that we could shape the thinking of the next generation. To best do that, the best thing to shape is give them critical thinking skills and, access to education. I don't think that'll remove religion in any capacity, but that will do far more good than trying to enforce a set of beliefs. The communists tried that, didn't work. Do you believe people who believe in Christ are mental, or are they experiencing something divine? I think they're experiencing something that they believe is to be divine. That doesn't make me think that they're necessarily crazy, but even I have hallucinatory experiences. Or my body or my mind reacts to things that are not real. And I like to think I'm a completely sane individual. You can be sane and experience things that are not real. It's quite common. In fact, I would hazard a guess that every single human alive that has ever lived has had that happen to them. Other things you'd want nationalized water infrastructure. I personally believe rails and maybe energy. Sure, those things are not bad to infrastructure, only because, to privatize them, even in a capitalistic framework, provides a worse experience for people. Right? There may be a few other things as well, but everyone who is sane has been in a cult. Well, there are sane people in a cult. A cult functions entirely based off, reducing your ability to critically think and form emotional ties to it, right? How is Christianity a cult? I didn't say Christianity is a cult. It may have started out as one, because Jesus' followers were definitely a cult, but, Christianity by itself is not a cult. They're not a high control group. Aren't prisons useless and a waste of tax money? Why do we bother to give sentences to extreme crime instead of killing them? If they don't plan to reform them for society, just get rid of them. Harry is completely correct with this. There are several reasons. There are three main reasons why you keep prisons, right? First, it is very expensive to do executions. Well, actually, I'll do the first part first. Let's do the moral idea, right? You have to understand that people who, that the justice system is not perfect. That's not That's not like a knock against it. It's just that people are going to make mistakes, and if people can make mistakes, that means our justice system, which is made out of people, will make mistakes. I would rather let 1,000 people like rot in prison than one innocent man ever have the potential to be killed for a crime that he never committed, right? To go along with that, the second one, it is very expensive to get someone, executed. Because, well, we know that we can be imperfect, and so hopefully your justice system makes sure that there's plenty of chances to be able to be, to redo, to double check, to do retrials over and over again, and that costs a lot of money. You might as well just imprison them, right? And third, you do not want to give the state the power to execute you, right? Even for extreme crimes. Because all the government then has to do is classify something as extreme, any crime as extreme crime, and then congratulations, you're on death row. I mean, look at what they're doing with Luigi Mangione in New York, right? I'm not condoning what he did, but it is interesting that they immediately attempted to go for the death penalty for him, when murders happen all the time, and they definitely don't try to afford the death penalty for anything that they do. So, yeah. Could Christianity be true? No. At least, not with our understanding of reality and history. Anyways, those are my three main reasons as to why the death penalty is not useful. And problematic, at the end of the day. What is reality? Reality is the thing that is the stuff that exists without, that exists objectively. With or without people to observe it. That would continue to exist with or without people observing it. If a tree falls and no one's around to hear it in the forest, would it still make a sound? Yes, because that is reality. Why does it exist? I think that's a question that is useless. I don't think that is a useful question. It does exist. Do we understand reality fully? No. No, we do not. We understand quite a little bit of it. But from what we do understand, the thing that we use, usually God, to answer questions gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Sorry for the seemingly common sense questions. I've just always had them. Someone answered, help me see if my thinking is flawed. I had no idea Louis is. Maybe the murder was bad enough. Well, I mean, I like to point out that the death sentence, I don't think is necessarily evil. I don't think it's like necessarily an immoral thing to do. It's just society is worse off if we institute that as a punishment. How can you rule out Christianity given this reality gap? Because of the inherent contradictions towards Christianity that Christianity already provides. For instance, Christianity presupposes that they believe in an all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving deity. Right? The problem with that is that their deity has instituted slavery, has committed genocide several times, and and also allowed for very wicked things to happen, like, all the time. So, that's an internal contradiction within its people. How does that relate to reality? Because it's an internal contradiction. And from what we understand, a thing cannot be true while contradicting itself. Granted, that could be wrong, but based on the information we have now, do you hold an objective morality? No. No, I do not. I can't wait for the next question to come up with this. I cannot wait for the next question. How can you then hold that what God did was evil? I cannot wait for that next one to pop up. What actually is an objective morality? That's a good question. It's a good start. What is an objective morality? Once again, great start. What is evil? Evil, within the context of secular humanism and the ability of where I have come up with, right, is the complete disregard for people's rights, autonomies, and their ability to live their life. Their rights including bodily autonomy, mind autonomy, and those things. Right? The complete disregard of those things. Secular humanism has influence from Christian thought. It has superseded Christian thought. That's like saying Christianity was influenced by Zoroastrianism. Sure. Christian, yeah, like, so, sure. Could have been. I won't deny that. Namely because Christians were the ones that keep going, like, we can keep going, that hardly matters, right? It's like saying this, right? Because at the end of the day, morality, at least how I see it, is just a mind tool, right? So, you know, what influenced the creation of a hammer? A rock. A rock. But what's better for drilling in a nail? A hammer. Right? You can still drill in a nail with a rock, but you're not going to be as effective without a hammer. And sometimes you need a different type of hammer for a different type of job. Because morality is based on the goals we make as a society and as an individual. Nietzsche calls it weak morality. Good thing that I'm not a pure nihilist. You know, I'm a cosmic nihilist, but I'm not a Nietzschean nihilist. I wouldn't want to be the guy having to build a house with a rock. Exactly! Exactly! Right? And that's how we differentiate between morality. Right? We look at a person using a tool and we're like, God, I would hate to have to use that tool. Right? I'd hate to have that tool. Atheism should be consistent and hold to the survival of the fittest, since reality does not grant you weak morality by default. Why? you're assuming that morality is something special. It's a mind tool. Is it true religion was invented to take control of people back in the days? That's a loaded question. Anthropologically, hard to say, right? It definitely can be used and has definitely used to control people, but yeah. Why should it? Are you asserting atheism of a philosophy? It's not. It's simply the lack of belief in gods. Yeah. More than that, but even then, because nature does not grant weak morality, nature grants whatever is useful, and if it's a good tool, it will get passed on. So, morality being a tool, being an idea, like you help me, I help you, very common form of morality, right? You don't hurt me, we don't kill our own group, right? For resources, we share resources together. That's a form of proto-morality. But yeah, anthropologically, like, other animals display, like, spiritual behavior. We see it in elephants, we see it in orcas, we see it in chimps, and other animals. We see them kind of doing, like, a proto-spirituality, if we can even call it that, because then, like, we don't know if we're anthropomorphizing animals by saying that, but we do see them doing, like, rituals and things that are not necessarily, like, for survival. Right? They just do it because either A, they like it, or B, they've been taught to do it properly. Like, that's the proper thing to do. Which could be like what humans did. And that could have been a thing for survival, right? You do it this way because it's a survival thing, right? Regardless of the actual context surrounding it, right? So, in terms of religion being invented to take control of people, it may have just emerged as a way to do that, rather than it necessarily being the intent of said things. Christians say that God has always existed, even before the universe. So, like, where did God come from? He can't just exist from nothing. They get mad when I ask, even though it's genuine. A lot of people now will tell you that it's because he's a necessary being. Which I think is just a cop-out, but based on an ontological understanding, you can use logic as long as you grant the first premise of the ontological argument with God being a necessary being. But I'd never grant it. But yeah, this is they say it's a necessary creature. Also, Kura Kakoa, it's good to see you again, by the way. Always happy to see a friendly face. I saw a zombie. There you are. Oh, peanut butter. Yoink. Survival Empire. Hello. I say hello back. So who created this necessary being? Oh, the idea is the point is a necessary being is necessary for everything to exist, right? Keep in mind, I don't hold this belief. I do not hold this. I'm just trying to, like, explain their argument. They hold that the idea is that infinite regress should be impossible, right? Because everything is contingent on another thing, right? For C to exist, B needs to exist, and for B to exist, you need A to exist. So there must have been an original prime beginner for all these things to continue on, right? To avoid infinite regress. But you then just have to ask, how do we know everything's contingent on the other thing? Do you left your cult because you didn't like the aspirins anymore? Sure, Screwdriver. Jesus loves you all. He's dead, though. Even Satan? Yes, they would say even Satan needs a primary cause. Then the thing is that and even necessary being created the necessary being. Thank you, this old helmet. Good to see you. Been a while. I've never joined a cult, but I'm considering starting one. What strategy did they use to hook you? I was born into it. I didn't have a choice. I have a testimony about Jesus Christ. He led me to the grave and to destruction. Damn, sounds like a crappy guy. Were you in the Hail Bop comic cult? No, read the pinned comment. Lots of different religious symbols. I'm glad you at least are a universalist. Oh, kind of poor manganese. The word dead? No way. Yeah, I mean, I have no reason to believe that God lives. Hello, everyone. Hello, Daniel Barry Sports Highlight. I can't say it, just swap in to leave a like. I appreciate it regardless, this old helmet. Always welcome. Were you a Branch Davidian? No. Read the pinned comment and it'll tell you exactly which one I was part of. An eye patch, that's pretty cool. An eye patch zombie, I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Woof. Any neat zombies on though? Still quite a bit here. Woof. Oh, woof. Is this game fun? I think it is. It can be very frustrating though. You were a Jemima's witness? Did you go around offering pancakes? I wished. Be better than what I was offering. The rotation of the Earth really makes my day. Yes, it makes my day too. What is the difference between Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons? Am I getting my cult mixed up? Yes. So Jehovah's Witnesses are... So Mormons believe, you know, John Smith and his personal revelation. Think of it kind of like how Islam, they believe that Jesus was a prophet, but like Muhammad was the greater and last prophet, right, to come about. Mormons believe that Joseph Smith is, you know, one of those prophets that came, and he put a final revelation. Whereas Jehovah's Witnesses are like, be closer to like Orthodox, where they want to return to like the first century Christians and what they believed. And that sort of stuff, right? That's kind of the difference. There's also plenty of doctrinal differences and plenty of things, but yes, they go. The reason why they get mixed up is because they go door to door. Jesus is King of Kings, but he's dead though. Why does people keep telling me that Jesus is doing things? Did I check something? Is something happening in Mexico that I didn't know about? Which cult did you leave? MAGA? No, I thankfully am Canadian, and I've never been part of that cult. But no, I was a Jehovah's Witness. Check the pinned comment. Jesus apparently alive in Brazil again. It's a funny story. I've heard... I thought I streamed where I saw that there was this guy, but yeah. I've seen a few different things. Can you go down? Do you hear about the guy whose left side got amputated? No. We're going to look for... There we go. He is all right. Thank you for these puns. They are glorious. If I was Jesus, I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to come back to Brazil. I read up on the Luigi guy you mentioned. I think they would want to give him the death because the person he shot was important. Maybe they don't want others to do the same. That's exactly the reason why they don't want that. That's exactly the reason why. But it's interesting how arbitrary that is, right? It's interesting how arbitrary it is. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that. You don't want that arbitrary distinction when the state has the ability to just kill you. If Jesus rose from the dead, came back, wouldn't happen to Jerusalem, Nazareth, the region? Why Brazil? Who knows? What do you call a boomerang that won't come back? Pretty bad boomerang. Just a stick at that point. Fetch? Do you call it fetch? Guess it still comes back to you, but... Oh. I'm not looking for bugs, I'm looking for rocks. Give me rocks. Brazil is pretty religious. Brazil comes from Portugal, and Portugal has like the most religious flag. They're very religious. Their entire history is actually religious. It's fascinating. A stick. Yeah, a stick. Why do I keep finding bugs? Let me find rocks, please. So is Israel, so is Iran, so is a lot of other places. Yeah. Well, it's a rock. Not the kind of rock that I want, but it's a rock. Wrong religions? There's no such thing as wrong religion. Why don't sharks eat clowns? Because they taste funny. That I know. Hey, rock. Okay, we have the ability to make one axe. Let's see if we can make more. If you want to make a metric crap of money, Jesus, I wouldn't do it in Iran. True. Although there are, like, Christians in Iran. They're just not as politically powerful. Oh, true rich. A gentle yoink. Hey, okay, nice. Are you monetized? No. I might eventually become monetized. Religions are wrong there. I fixed your sentence. A very gentle yoink. There's a way to make money and control the masses. It has historically been used that way. Although I'm a secular humanist, so I try my best to be like, if you believe, you're allowed to believe. But that extends to me. My ability to not believe should be just as protected as your right to believe. And I should not be looked down upon because I do not believe the same way you do. Nor should I look down on you necessarily because of the way you believe. I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not sure. These puns are glorious. For what it is. Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. But at the same time, there's always a tit for tat, so to speak. Although I definitely like a tit from my tat. Anyways, I didn't say a word. Or it thinks the majorities don't like how things are run, they should take action. I mean, yeah, that's called democracy. That's just called democracy. Ah! My issue with democracy is tribalism. You're never going to be able to remove tribalism from humanity. So far, from what we understand, democracy is our best bet. Looks like this game was based off Ultima Online. It's actually more based off The Sims. Lol, cult, let me guess. Mormons, JWs? It was JW. Also, Crooked, there's a bot in my chat. Did something like that in the history books. Well, then the problem with that rambling is then you think that then you have to deal with what is it, vigilantism, and vigilantism is definitely not something you want, because once again, people can be wrong. And would you be okay with somebody thought that you had done something wrong and then a horde of people come out of your home and then beat you to death? Ooh, definitely bad. At least they're nice though. Oh yeah. Most cult members I met are nice. Problem there lies, you know. This, but if I'm a kid, can I post videos? I think there are limits to what you can post. Charlie boy. I don't know the exact rules. I'm not gonna pretend to know the exact rules. Damn, the more I speak to you, the more I see I don't see the bigger picture, and that's a good thing. Talking to people, right? I don't hold all the answers, right? I do not hold all the answers. Nor do I, nor does the next person, all that sort of stuff. The best way to understand another person and to understand people in general is to talk to them. Walk with them. Understand them. Believe me, I used to be extremely homophobic. Like, incredibly homophobic. So homophobic that even people within my cult were like, whoa, you're a little homophobic even for me, right? And my religion is pretty my old religion was pretty homophobic. So, and I did that by talking with the people that I thought I hated. In reality, I didn't just know anything about them. My entire opinions were made entirely based on the judgment that people had told me to believe in these things. Clean your room and never believe a guy with a dirty room. It's a little dirty. It's not that crazy. There's a book there. But most everything's in its place. Is a religion? Oh, wow. There's a guy with a Trump picture and saying homosexuality is a religion. Like, just get out, fascist. Get out. This is a safe place. I used to be homophobic. Now I'm highly protective of them. I hold exactly two answers. The sky is blue and mouth also suck. On everything else, I cannot be certain. So is democracy the best system we will ever have? I think it's the best system we have currently. There are weaknesses to it, but I think the strengths of democracy outbeat most of the weaknesses. But at the end of the day, the thing Doesn't matter whatever system you have. It doesn't matter if you're doing a monarchy, a dictatorship, a oligarchy, anything. You need steps in your government to prevent corruption, right? Any government that has large amounts of corruption in it is going to fall or fail or hurt people. That's just, it doesn't matter what system you have. Although democracy generally has inbuilt protectors against corruption. Right? Generally. Like, democracy by itself has, like, an inbuilt protector against corruption, just because you can vote the bad guy out. Right? And the natural bureaucracy that comes with democracy. So, like, that by itself, I think, is, like, a great thing about democracy. On top of, like, the rights that it gives. Oh my gosh, that work call tested me. What's wrong, Crooked? What happened to you, Crooked? Sure, we even need a president? Feels more like a figurehead with dangerous power. Well, she woke up, it's fine. This sleazy guy is producing the best, what's it called? Puns. She has a huge ego. Ah, well. Everybody say Crooked's boss sucks for me, please. Just for me and for Crooked, please. We all need to do this unity together. Crooked's boss sucks. I like having a monarch purely because of aesthetic. I mean, that's kind of based. I hate the fact that Canada has a monarchy, but I can understand the drip. I can understand the desire. Do we currently have corruption, or are people just making stuff up since you say the system will fail if there is corruption? There will always be corruption. Corruption will always exist. It's how your system deals with said corruption and not allow it to propagate. Right? There will always, always, always be corruption. I had no idea she had a pet bird. I was screaming on the inside. Yeah, like, are you off the clock, Crooked? If you're off the clock, why are you answering her calls? Like, do you have to answer her calls? Now? Oh! I understand now. Nothing is more base than House of Orange. Literally just orange is its symbol. Ah, yes. The Netherlands. She called right before I was clocking out. Damn. Ah, yes. Yoink. Ah, gentle yoink. But yeah, there will always be corruption. There will always be people that take advantage of the system. It's what your system does in place to prevent that from getting out of hand that tells you how good of a system it is. But yeah, we've got our king now. I'm in the Netherlands. The House of Orange. William of Orange. I was pretty good with him in Civ 5. Spinoza for you is a former cult. No. Spinoza is an individual, so even if I thought they were part of a cult, doesn't mean that they are a cult. So, we need a global conquest, not war and conquest. Not serious. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm a peaceful guy. Oh, broccoli. Yoink. Black sage. And a tree branch. Oh, wait, we want those. Yoink. But yeah, Canada has a king. We are a constitutional monarchy. Although I am totally on board of trying to remove it. Me personally. Make Alexander great again. Ah, now that's a manga. Even Luther is an individual, but at the same time a cult, or Calvin. No. At least not how I define a cult. I define cult as a high control group. I use it as a synonymous with a high control group. Right? If you want to use cult in the form of like philosophy, like the idea of like thinking in a specific way, like sure, but I don't use cult that way, me personally. I use cult in a specific way laid out by Stephen Hassan using the BITE model. Image Elohim. So, that's not how I do it. Luther as in Protestant Luther? Yes, they're talking about Luther as in Protestant Luther. They're referencing philosophers. He's not a cult. No, I think it's more just in line with the thing that they're thinking that my atheism, that I think that believing in a deity is a cult, which is not what I claim. Do dictatorships last long? I don't know how North Korea says. How bad does he have his people scared? Dictatorships can last a very long time. But they can also last for a couple days. Depends on how they weed out their own corruption. They might be corrupt themselves. Their system might be literally like, their corruption is a feature, which can make it last longer. Yeah, North Korea is a political quarantine. Like, nobody interacts with it. So the only way that dictatorship's going to end is if the people completely rise up. But that can be really hard because for them, the corruption is a feature, not a thing that they're trying to prevent. They're actively trying to propagate said corruption, but in a way that benefits them. So cult is Catholicism and Orthodox are not even them? No, not necessarily them. No. Not necessarily. I mean, some Catholic religions are a cult and some Orthodox religions are a cult, but not the whole entirety of it. When you were a witness, did you feel hopeless about ever being one of the 144,000? No. In fact, I didn't want to be one of the 144,000. I wanted to live forever on Earth, not live forever in heaven. Ain't a cult just an unpopular religion with the dangerous ideas? Not exactly. I use cult in the terms of the BITE model, right? It's a high control group laid out by Stephen Hassan using the BITE model, which is behavioral, information, thought, and emotional control. So if he were exposed to the goal, would start to change? It's possible that could happen. It's certainly not impossible. It's likely to end the regime a bit. Or at least weaken it. Anytime you can get people to get together, right? Political power is entirely based on how many people are backing you. If you have enough people backing you, you have control over the political landscape. That's just how it works. Right? Yes, and Daveza is correct. For me, I'm just saying, like, if you get enough people together, people is what controls the political landscape. It always is. So examples of former cult for you: Jehovah's Witnesses, Scientology is one, Mormons would be considered one, Heaven's Gates, Jonestown. One could even possibly consider MAGA to be considered a cult, except they're a very decentralized cult. So probably, it's hard to say with them. Although QAnon would be considered a cult. Those are just some examples, right? A cult does not necessarily need to be religious. There are political and even business-like cults. There are some LLMs that are propagated by cults. It's hard to believe anything impossible to believe, so you need a support group to try to believe it. My bad for the dumb questions, but thanks for answering them anyway. I've changed the way I think. I'm going to read manhwa. Have a nice day. Alright, have a good one, Rambling Jess. And honestly, just keep asking questions. They're not dumb. As an atheist, what's the foundation for your ethics? Secular humanism. That's the foundation for mine. Did you see the church excommunicated a large wing of the church recently? Yes, I did see that. That was funny to watch. I've known Mormons, but not enough to be considered a member, in my opinion. Yeah. I've debated many as a Jehovah's Witness. I do debate occasionally some now. Are Freemasons a cult? I know there are different types of Freemasonry, and some of them would be considered a cult, I think, yes. But not all. Not all of them would be, but definitely some particular groups could be considered one, yes. But now 200, there will... Oh, goodness. Why are there zombies here? I should probably take these out. That's a lot of zombies. Don't like the fact that there's a bunch right next to my base. Have you studied Judaism? I mean, yes, a little bit. Not like a crazy amount, but enough. As a Christian, I studied, even as a Jehovah's Witness, Jehovah's Witnesses loved ancient Judaism. Now, granted, that's not Judaism in its current form. You have Orthodox and Hellenistic Jews. But yeah, enough to be like, eh. Not for me. Sincerely, the same to me, not particular from most Catholic atheists and Hebrews. Who? Hellenistic Judaism, as in Greeks. Hellenistic Judaism is a form of non-Orthodox Judaism that was, primarily, started within the Greek and, influenced by old ancient Greek culture and then has since transformed. They're going to have slightly different ideas than Orthodox Judaism. Most Christian denominations give a really weird version of Judaism. I converted to Judaism from Christianity. Cool. I have enough. I know enough about Judaism, namely because if you're a type of Judaism that believes in the Torah is enough for me to be like, no, thank you. Even though I know that a lot of Jews don't believe that historically happens, either way, there's no lessons. I don't think there's any lesson from the Torah that is worth to learn. And if that's one of the bases for your beliefs, Mormons? I mean, Mormons are not necessarily. Competing to be servants of gods that are not gods. Okay. Judaism is a perversion of Christianity? I mean, that's a stretch. Considering that Christianity came from Judaism. Check Boyardee. Right? Jesus was a Jew. That's one hell of a stretch to say. How much to show tits? 100,000 USD. I'll do that. I would sell my body for 100,000 USD. Solves all my problems. I don't debate atheists. You're literally just right. There's no provable evidence. Well, it's not that I'm right. It's just non-verifiable hypothesis or non-verifiable hypothesis. Rabbinic Judaism didn't start till a little after Christianity. Okay, so? Jesus was a Jew, sure, but Moses and Abraham were not. Okay. So how is it a perversion? You are not worth 100,000. Probably. And I'm okay with that. He is worth 100,000. I don't care. If I'm not worth 100,000, I guess I'm not showing my boobs. Have you watched Aqua FPS? Your name reminds me of his. No. They were Christians. Did you say that Abraham and Moses were Christians? Did you just say that Abraham and Moses were Christians, Chef Boyardee? Did you just say... Did this guy just say that Abraham was a Christian? Not only did Abraham and Moses most likely not exist, or at best are just extremely legendary-like characters, to think that they were Christian. Yeah, they worship Christ. Christ wasn't even a thing yet! That is the most anachronistic thing I've ever heard! When the statement is out of whack, you gotta pause the game. Yes! That is the most stupidest thing they ever heard. They never worshiped Christ, not even in the stories that is told about them. Right? Like, even if we are to assume that they are an actual, like, person, right? Which they're a completely legendary character. Completely. But assuming that they were, Christ always existed. Really? Really? Nothing about that says that. Are you also under the belief that Jesus was Michael the Archangel as well? Are you also a Jehovah's Witness? I don't think you are, but that's funny. Hi, Phylan! It's... Like, that is a completely anachronistic way of thinking. I have no reason to be able to grant you Christ always existed. That is a crazy assertion. Yeah. Even though it says Christ was created at some point, it didn't exist always. Like, you have... This is an issue with blind faith. They'll shift the goalposts to support their take. Yeah, Christ is king. Also, Max, that's entirely wrong. I can't grant you that. You've made another assertion. You supported your assertion that Moses and Abraham were Christians. And your supporting of said things was more assertions. Jesus is gay. Probably. He did wash the feet of his disciples. But I mean, that could just be his foot fetish. He had women crying over his feet. So, he definitely had a thing for feet. Now, is that because he's gay, or is that because of something else? I definitely can't. Are you debating someone from my former cult? Some statements are familiar? Maybe? Maybe. Chef Boyardee, are you a Mormon? Because that is the most anachronistic way of thinking. Oh no, Jesus with a foot kink. It's true. Abraham was a representation of pagan deities with other names. Hey Bella, how you doing? A representation. So nothing of that is that the Bible is never literally true. So if the Bible is never going to be true, what is the use of learning from it? Especially since it's told in a historical context. Jesus the foot fetishist. Truly was. Should wake up to reality. Well, it's less about reality and more just like not saying the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, that's incredibly anachronistic. Jesus, don't lick my toes. Oh no. Please, anything but the toes, my grippers. What do you think about neo or modern pagans? Quite neat. Unfortunately, a lot of their symbols have been co-opted by fascists and Nazis, but that's not necessarily their fault. Ooh. What's this? Ooh. Christ is the sun, the soul, Invictus, Abraham is Mars, and Sarah Venus. Oh, I have no reason to believe those things, Image Elohim. Isaac, Earth. I have no reason to believe these things. They're just planets. Sitting on your bed will be, with but a stick to ward off the toe, says Jesus. If God is real, I'm going to the lowest ring. Jesus coming in the middle of the night. Let me see those grippers. So Christ is full of hot gas and nuclear fusion. Got it. Because you're not Latin. I have no reason to grant these things because I'm not Latin. What? Oh, suddenly I don't know how to speak Latin, so that, so have no reason to grant these things. I can smell the cat kiss through the screen. There's only the one cat. He's great. No one is Latin. Yes, but they teach story. You can say even are just names. So what metaphysical point am I supposed to learn from this? OMG, I'm getting flashbacks of the non-Latin arguments. Just a fun fact that the Bible is allegedly anachronistic stories. The golden bull doesn't fit after freedom with any cult from Egypt. Fits more after Canaan than before it. Oh, there's more than just anachronistic stories, right? Remember that supposedly, if the Exodus did happen, which it didn't, Oh, Riley is ready with a party of 6. Hi, how you doing, Riley? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aqua7729, Tristan Dazzle, or whatever you like to call me. I talk to people on the internet, and I play video games, although right now I'm talking to a lot of people on the internet. I'm a former cult member, a former Jehovah's Witness, so I try to make this a safe place for everybody, but I do talk about sensitive subjects such as politics, theology, religion, and philosophy. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so sad to hear you were a cult member. Glad I'm a Christian and not that. Well, I'm glad that you're happy. Because every planet teaches a story of different political ways to drive humanity. Yeah, no, I don't think planets are a way to learn about politics. Because they're going to mail you a box of flies and locusts that will open as soon as it detects your presence. Damn. You call yourself the funny guy, but when do you get funny? Philosophy? Yeah, I have no reason to accept any of that as truth in any capacity. How much to show your tits? 100,000 USD. You got it. Are named after deities Roman that was not gods. Everyone had at this point at least one Roman, especially all of what is so cringe wannabes Roman Empire. Yeah, but like, oh wait, I was going to finish my point, Phylan. So the anachronism of the Exodus. So the Exodus, if it was true, which it's not, but if it was, they would have been going from Egypt to more Egypt because Egypt owned the Levant at that time. Like their empire stretched out to the Levant at that time. So that's another anachronism. Maybe 1,000 rubles. How much is that in CAD right now? I'm curious. 1,000 rubles to CAD. I'm curious. 18 bucks. Damn. $17. Imagine having 1,000 rubles, coming here and not even be able to get a full, like, meal from Subway. Mary Antoinette channel says hello, and I say hello. Do you like cake? Only 3 things cool about the Romans. I think there was a little bit more than the 3 cool things, but... Exodus have a bunch of stuff that isn't coherent with even their own Bible's narrative order. And also, camels! That's anachronistic too. The domestication of camels. If you denounce neo-communism... I don't even know what neo-communism is. Because was Ra the sun life and Seth the... Yeah, that's a lot of gibberish. If that's not a deal, I think the deal is to agree that you support the Michael Jackson thought. What the fuck is the Michael Jackson thought? You were rubbing that beard on, and you were wearing that exact shirt. I want you to wire me 100 rupees so I can afford to make... yeah, no. 1, throw 100,000 men at storms and hope you stop sinking. 2, red. 3, aqueduct. True. Let them eat cake! That poor woman. She did not deserve the death that she got. Michael Jackson is a guilty man. Oh? Well, he's dead, so... But what is neo-communism? I don't know what neo-communism is. Do you think I would know that, Flyland? I have no idea what that is. What cult did you leave? Check the pinned comment. Was if you worship Ra, you will upright. You worship Seth, you will be upset. I mean, I'm aware of, you know, those beliefs, right? Like I'm pretty aware of ancient Egyptian mythology, including the hella gay things that they did, and also their religion. But yeah, she actually gave people bread. The whole thing, cake, was just made up. True. Former Christian here, ready to talk about my experience. My life became so much better after I left the church. I'm happy for you there, Mary Antoinette. Are you, like, doing that as a channel thing that just found me, or what's up? Did I patch up some clothing? Nice. Anti-Caucasian Marxism. Wait, what? Neo-communism is anti-Caucasian Marxism. What? Definitely a scold for that. It's okay. Liberty is using white nationalist coded language. Queen Mary Antoinette didn't deserve to perish that way? No. Raw, feed the lamb. That is extremely anachronistic way you're thinking, Image. Elohim. It's pretty anachronistic. The Egyptians did not think about, especially the ancient Egyptians. Like, remember that Ra was not, like, something that was all throughout history. Ra as a, it was actually came much later in the pantheon of things. Ma'at was like the true head of the pantheon for a long time. And he still was even after Ra came in, but Ra is actually a later addition, coming out from like the Middle Empire, I believe. Not the old one. Neglecting the commandment of God, you hold to the tradition of men. Well, unfortunately, the tradition of the law of God is non-existent. Oh, my channel's supposed to be some sort of motivational type using Amori silly side quest. Fair enough. Well, if my Discord server is always open for people that curious and want to interact with me and stuff like that. Conspiracy theorists are a disease. Well, they will always exist. Let me tell you what MJ thought. I don't care about this. Enjoy the tribulation. Okay. When Christians don't get their way, they will just threaten you. Old Egyptians like cats, based. More than like cats. I'll enjoy Trib something. Venus was daughter of the famous deity. So was Saturn the... Oh. Can you shut up, please? You're not... I'm not accepting any of these claims, and I don't want you to be, And I don't want any more of this anachronistic, ridiculous speech in my chat. I'm good. I'm good. What tribulation? Yeah, like, I mean, when Christians can't get their way, they will just threaten you with life. Mr. Worm, also, are you a Jehovah's Witness? They're like, wow, priests. If you don't like the healer priest, they turn to shadow priest. Hell yeah. Also, actually, they're saying stuff. Mr. Worm, are you a Jehovah's Witness? Joy the tribulation. And then, yeah. I mean, they'd probably say Jehovah, not God. Answer a fool as his folly deserves, that he not be wise in his own eyes. Are you a Jehovah's Witness, Mr. Worm? I'm curious. No, was that your cult? That was a cult I was a part of. Just you said things that sounded familiar. When Christians don't get their way, they crash out and threaten? Yeah, it's basically. Do I have your blessing to change my name to the porno guy? No. Yes, JWs are banned from interacting with me, but it has happened. So did you support the Neo-Jew... I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a JW? James Dolan? Are you? Are you a JW James Dolan? Alright, hopefully you're a PMO. What was the backlash from leaving? The backlash from leaving was being completely shunned by all my friends and family. And everybody saying that, you know, I'm one mistake now. I'm sorry, would you like to become a child of God? No. It's certainly not the Christian God. The Christian God is evil, temperamental bastard. Not a fan. Do you understand dark matter and dark energy? No, not fully. I've read up on the theories of what we do know. I got a bridge to sell to you? Which God and keep rolling? I could have, but, you know, there's so much going on in my chat where I'm like, I can't do it all. Why did you itch your ear? Because it was itchy. Were you born into the JW? Yes. So I lost my entire support network in one night. So why do you have an obsession with axolotls? Because they're cute. They're cool. They're also some of the best regenerators. Big hug, Aqua. Yeah. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but want to have their eels tickled. They will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance to their own desires. Numbers 31, 17, and 18. So kill all the men, the women, the children, the young boys specifically. And then in verse 18, and then keep the young girls for yourselves. Yeah, I can quote scripture too. Doesn't help. Doesn't help you. My former neighbor is an Anglican priest, yet he had a reputation of being a lying, narcissistic asshole. Yeah. Is your god called Rupert? Rupert? No, I don't have a god. That's why I'm an atheist. It's kind of in the name. Takes balls to step away. It is what it is. Why did he issue this command? Why did humans issue the command? I don't believe your god exists. But why did he issue the command? Because, yeah, someone made it up. Because they were trying to, because old men were trying to justify their horrible actions. That's why I believe that happened. Do I believe that God actually commanded that thing happen? No. It was men trying to do their thing of justifying the horrible atrocities. I am, by technicality, an Anglican. Oh. So you're in the UK there, Harry? The whole book of Job is pure romanticizing Stockholm Syndrome. among other things. You know. That is what I know. But yeah, Marie Antoinette, if you like my stuff, you can always join my Discord. Or anybody who likes my stuff, you can join my Discord. And yeah, it should be in the description. If you like to see more of my bullshit. What? If you are an atheist, it's like a religion is supporting a god named Athe. Can we talk about how Bible God hates women and approves slavery? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. That's why I mentioned Numbers 31, 17, and 18. Remember, women were always considered property. Long to be, it's either too hot or too rainy. Fair enough. Sure, where's the link? It should be in the description. It's okay, he will still accept you if you turn from unbelief. Yeah, I'm not going to be turning from unbelief to him. Unless he can show himself. But remember, he doesn't show himself to the haughty or the prideful. Divine hiddenness. So not only does that make him an unverifiable hypothesis, but also, if he was real, he's an asshole. I hate our monarchy. Well, unfortunately, if you come to Canada, you'll have the exact same monarchy. Unfortunately. We have the exact same king as you. And drown the people of the world, allegedly? Exactly. The god you pray to is one of these: John, Mary, Robert, Linda, James, Patricia, Michael, Barbara, William, Elizabeth, David, Jennifer, Richard, Susan, Joseph, Jessica, Thomas. Not quite. Zomboid and atheism content? Pog. Sometimes it's a little bit more atheism than Project Zomboid, and sometimes a little more Project Zomboid than atheism. We should just not worship anything. The world would be a better place. Can't escape this damn monarchy. I mean, to be fair, they kind of set it up to be that way. Why did this bitch have 2 watches? They have a digital, like, gold watch, and then another gold wristwatch. What? They had 2 gold watches on each hand? Taking that watch off you. But monarchies nowadays are like celebrities? Kind of. They technically are supposed to have power to be able to stop the government from hurting the people. Technically. Sorry, wife, did you respond? I responded to the fact that divine hiddenness makes your god either a non-verifiable hypothesis or an asshole. You can take your pick. My thighs are the object of worship. Does that count? Not mine! She needs to tell the time. Evidently. Like, some monarchies have a little bit more power, some monarchies have a little less power, some monarchies have 0 power in terms of, like, constitutional monarchy. Like, the Canadian monarchy is less powerful than the UK monarchy. The UK monarchy is more powerful. Like, the monarchy has more power. Oh, goodness. Well. Trust in the Lord. Are you going to say and actual back up your statements with anything relevant, or are you just going to preach in my chat? Guys, Aqua's actually disguised a man. You were falling into rage towards him. He is Jesus. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, I didn't know your religion ties. So is God one of the assumptions? No, none of these. But yeah, no. Why would I trust something that doesn't exist, or I have no reason to believe exists? That sounds stupid. I'm talking, but to combat your logic, I rely on his. On whose? God's? Because God's logic is useless if that's the case. Why would I trust something that doesn't exist? That doesn't make any sense. Those cults hide the true bounty reality on Alt's majesty? I mean, I am a happier person now. I can't still just trust me. I don't know, I would like to be ruled by a council than a single person. That's called an oligarchy. Denies being the Messiah. Only the Messiah would do that. I told you guys, I'm not the Messiah. Here is the Messiah. But to believe to axolotl, so I mean, it must be kind of sporting any religion, such as democracy or conservatism. Is democracy or conservatism a religion? He does, though. All it takes is a sincere moment. Proof? Like, that doesn't make any sense. He doesn't talk to anybody. I've had plenty of times where I prayed to him before I became an atheist. And if you don't believe, you'd burn in a lake of fire? Exactly. Ex-Muslim, now atheist, thank Allah, so much happier now. I feel similar that way. I wonder what happened with humanity. Maybe I don't know because I'm aware of it. I mean, humanity is just humanity. There's nothing about it that's particularly, like, new or... His closest one based on would be the Aztec religion. Yeah, sure, which I'm not. Ma'an Satan, welcome. Same here, so much happier and peaceful. Yeah. The religion politics slot fried the brain of a lot of people. I mean, it's kind of always been that way. Religion and politics have always had a history together. God has already sent his son. And who is that? The guy who's just dead because of political reasons and not because of for your sins? The guy that had stories written to him at the earliest 40 years after the guy died? Raises from the dead? Well, try to say that your guy rose from the dead. If someone rises from the dead. Nobody has risen from the dead. I heard Mary is 14 too. Well, considering that she is described as a virgin, and back in those days, a virgin would generally be anywhere between 14 to 16, because a virgin is classified as a girl that has, at least in the context of those days, someone that has had their period. And those that have had their period usually get married off very quickly, because remember, in the Bible, women are property, so you want to sell that stuff while it's fresh. I hate to say it like that, but that was the mentality back then. So, yeah. What is your opinion about common cucumber and Heinz tomato sauce? I don't eat Heinz tomato sauce. Yeshua has. Really? What's your proof? He sent his son and got his ass handed to him. What a divine story. If you went missing for 3 days and came back as a god, that's not a sacrifice. That's a god level upgrade. Uh-huh. That fact that even today are traded for animals is crazy. Mm-hmm. Remember. How do we know the Bible was written by men? Because women are property. Have you been to India? They still do that over there? Okay. Do you think I'm okay with that? Like, do you think I'm okay with that? Like, do you think I'm okay with that? And like, do you know who are the highest rates of like child marriages in the United States?
Christians!
Zank, nice try. I know what you're trying to do. When I was 14, I was best with Disney Channel. Can't imagine being married off and being pregnant. It's their culture. Who are you to say? Oh, wow. Do I have to explain the whole idea about morality as a tool again? I love how they deflect responsibility. Look, he does it too. Yeah. I rose from the dead, was so peaceful, then the bastard god brought me back to spite me. Rah. Oh, man. Nice try, Zank. Nice try. As a secular humanist, yeah, I get to say I don't like that. And I would fight vehemently for it not to be instituted in my culture. I mean, why not? My friend is your friend. I doubt that. I can still call out, God rejects my death daily. So you have a culture? Yeah, I'm Canadian. In Islam, legal age for girls is 9 years. Mm-hmm. And it's really pissing me off. Stay alive, Riley. You need to. They just don't go back and say, I think I horrible. They just dodge it. Yeah, like, they're like, well, look at these other things. Look at these other people doing it. And you can't say anything bad about them, as if that makes their thing any better. Backed by unpopular demand. How's everyone today? Doing okay. We got a we got a worm here that's saying really bad stuff. And stupid things. Although, probably not the stupidest thing today. The stupidest thing I heard today was that Abraham and Moses were Christians. Do you apologize a lot? Is it true, the Canadian stereotype? That one is kind of true. Kind of. It's like, I'll have people bump into me and I'm like, sorry. Is it true Jews believe in kidnapping? I don't know. Have I insulted you? No. But you are saying things that I find to be ridiculous, and I'm calling that out specifically. Do you believe everything came about by random chance? Random chance? What do you mean by random chance? I don't think anything was guided, but the processes are predictable and have specific patterns. So, in a big enough universe happening over billions of years, inevitably, random chance becomes just a thing that happens. Yeah, say anything, you get unalive by stones. I mean, used to be the same way for Christians. Have you insulted me? No, I'm calling out your beliefs. The worm insulted me. How dare he is dance now. I'm always sorry if I bump into someone. I find that's just normal social paper. Is it not? I don't know. It's normal in Canada. What is the initial cause? Of the universe? I don't think there is one. That's smarter Canadians do. You never know how great you stumble upon with being outside. Okay. Well, we're back up to this things. How much days have we survived? 4 days, so the helicopter can spawn tomorrow. My boyfriend says Muslims are the modern day Christians. Muslims and Christians are the same thing. They're still the same religion. They're the same idea. They're just a religion. There's good people and bad people in it. There's extremists and non-extremists in it. It's all the same thing. Do you think the government is bad for placing foster kids with same-sex couples nowadays because it's a sin in the Bible? No. I don't care about sin in the Bible. I don't think sin exists. Obviously, the cause of the universe, it was the last one collapsing on a Nokia phone and released enough energy to make a new one. Yeah. So reality had no initial cause. Not that I'm aware of. I'm under the current idea that the universe is eternal. However, that doesn't mean I know that for certain. I'm totally fine to be wrong. But part of the reason why I'm so agnostic is because no human gets to say for certain if the universe had a start or not. It's something we just do not know as a species. We cannot know right now with the current knowledge. No religion that killed people for believing in your religion can show up the way to heaven. So there could be an initial cause? Maybe. But just because there could be doesn't make your assertion correct. Just because it could be. It's possible. The whole universe was in a hot, dense state. Problem is, I don't know who are the good and extremists. I keep an arm's length for my safety. Do what you can. You get knowledge. Bro, let him believe or not believe. Don't force yourself. That's also against the rules, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Maybe God is the friends we made along the way. Isn't the universe still expanding? Yeah. As far as we know. The universe is still expanding. But the Big Bang wasn't the start of the universe. It was the start of our current epoch of the universe. And the start of physics as we know it. Are you agnostic at first cause? I'm agnostic as if yeah. But I think right now it is more likely the universe is eternal. But I would rather say we don't know, or I don't know, rather than. Because there's no way humanity knows. We don't. As Christians, we are not here to beg people to follow Jesus Christ. We're here to offer following Jesus and leave the rest with love and respect, not debate, just respect. And that's neat until someone just says you're going to hell for believing what you believe, for not believing or believing a different thing. Oh my god, do this playing The Sims? This isn't The Sims, this is Project Zomboid. But I can see I can see that you're confused by it. Christians literally beg for followers. Yep. Christians are supposed to respect. I mean, we're supposed to. And they demand tithe and money. Yeah. You do not have to believe Jesus, oh God, to go to heaven. I mean, some people do believe that. Which is non-taxed, you know. If God existed, why would he be so petty as to demand faith? And then punish you for not? Life is just a simple math equation with no answer, giving us an extremely lucky chance to play it out. If you can make change for the good, do it, make the best of it. And yeah, that's kind of what I think. Well, life. Wait, why churches aren't paying taxes? Because that's just part of the system we created. What evidence do you have that the universe is eternal? For a few different reasons. Mine is just logic-based, and I'm totally willing to accept I'm wrong. But it's based off Dr. Blitz and his understanding of like how the universe, there's like the big crunch model where things go in and out, in and out, in and out, and just how time needs to exist for anything to happen, right? Because for a change to exist, you need to have time. Without time, you can't have change, right? So without time, you can't have change. And to go from nothing to something is a change. So time would have to have existed, which means the universe would have at least, or time would have had to always have existed for there to be going from nothing to something. Not that I think so. So time has, like, from that logic, time has to have always existed. And then, because of that, the universe has to be eternal. At least time has to be eternal. I think, incel. Who are you referring to? Hey, Ray, why don't you, not, like, preach in my chat? Having scriptures put in my chat is pretty useless, considering I could just show scriptures that are just horrible and atrocious. That's bad. They should at least use churches to do money. Okay, one thing on my list to feel disgusted about. Oh yeah, like there are like a lot of Nordic countries too. Like will pay churches a little bit of money based on their membership to do charity, because they're considered charitable works. What's your favorite book? Maybe Sherlock Holmes? Like my collection of Sherlock Holmes stories? Let Bro chant spells? Why must I? I don't want to. Anything by Isaac Asimov? Isaac Asimov is cool. Do androids dream of electric sheep? I love The Expanse, but The Expanse is cool. I just finished reading The Stranger. That was the last book I read by Camus. It's a short story, good book.
Hey!
Currently, tank you must have with your son. Fair enough. Monster by Dean Myers is the one I like. Nice. I really love the little witches on your t-shirt. Oh yeah, they're little axolotl witches. I love them. Can you go down, please? Those look like axolotl witches? They are axolotl witches. How do you spell it? Axolotl. Is cat just staring at the wall? No, he's sleeping. He's got his face covered. I can bring him out. People wish to perceive you. Yeah. People wish to perceive you. The people wish to perceive the Odin. Want to say hello to the chat? I wanted to try this game, but we're trying to sell it, so I packed up most of the fun things in the house. Fair enough. I'm sure you'll get back to it when you move. The cat for its head. Fair enough. He is an adorable little kitty. His name is Odin. It's so easy to counter a wizard if you make them out with them sloppy style while pinning them in the hall wall by their wrists. I wouldn't know that, Riley. I wouldn't know that, Riley. I in fact wouldn't know if that was a thing. Or just counterspell them. I mean, that's probably just as effective as a counterspell. Cat is like, dude, you woke me up for this? Well, now he's up here. And now he won't leave. So, as long as he doesn't mess with me, I guess. Odin, like the Greek Roman god guy? No, Odin, as in the Nordic guy. Father of Thor. Son of Bormir. Odin. I wanted a Norse name for him. He's a Norse god. If a wizard relies on words to spells, yeah, Kiss is the best counter. I mean, yeah, I'll just take it like a good boy. Well, certainly you can't do semantic or verbal components. Odin, yeah, Odin. Odin. I know now, yes. More effective than a counter spell then, this works more than one reaction. They also don't have a high strength score, so they're not going to be able to just say no to the Kiss very easily. Typically. I mean, I've seen some wizards with very high strength. There are only like 2 non-casters. I mean... Ooh. There's the monk. There's also the monk. But, I mean, some monks can be casters, I guess. Some monks can be. But, I mean, that could go the same with you know, fighters and barbarians. Kitty used Lap Slit. Yeah, now I can't move. He is here now. Eldritch Knight, yeah. Monk, Fighter, Barbarian, Paladins are only quarter casters that can learn Counterspell. Yeah. I mean, some monks can. I swear I heard a cat named Lucifer. Oh, that's adorable. I like that, Lucifer. So question, do you believe in anything spiritual or strictly science? I'm a naturalist, so it's not that, like, strictly science, right? It's just, I recognize that my senses can be affected by bias and by a number of things, so my senses can be wrong. So I think only in terms of, like, everything is a process of the natural world. Like, I'm a materialist. I have no reason to believe in anything spiritual, personally. Good evening. Heard this game isn't great as it feels like needs to be developed still. Oh, I mean, this game feels great. It's just a very slow development. The game is great. It just has a very slow development. I have one of those red, orange, no brain cell fluffy cats. His name is Phoenix. Adorable. Odin, if I need to move, do not mess with me. Okay? It's the only thing I ask. I found a ring. Oh. Your arm is looking quite comfortable right there. Yeah, that's Odin, all right. A lot of comic books in here. How far can you blink? Well, farther than you, I'd probably guess. doubt it. Well, you won't know. And I don't want to know. There's a cloak that have advantage against any spell? Yeah, there's some cool stuff. I'm still enjoying my Starfinder stuff. Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, I do it for money. Lots of money. There's not much I wouldn't do right now for lots and lots of money to be able to escape from my current situation, but, you know. That's besides the point. Make the cat visible. I mean, he's pretty visible. We would all do a lot for money, let's be honest. Yep. A mini animation. Thank you for the subscription. Whoa. This could be a good find. I lied, I guess. Oh, crazy amount. I just love your whole style, man. You seem so chill. I mean, I try my best. I appreciate that. Sometimes I get very excitable. Like, very, very excitable. Especially when people are saying, like, really stupid things. Okay. I'm gonna remember this place because this is a lot of food. I'm actually gonna keep it in here. Keep the high-calorie food in here. Played multiplayer with my friend who's new to Zomboid today. Oh, how'd that go? Got him to Louisville for the first time? What was the zombie population at? What was the zombie population at, Emily? That's alright, we all do. I am. I'm chill so long as people are not, like, accusing me of thinking that I condone anything evil because I'm a moral relativist. The cat, yes. The MP culling buck made there be substantially smaller number of Zeds in the streets. Buildings still ridiculous, but the roads were unusually clear. I mean, that's helpful. That's like an I Am Legend kind of scenario. Which is kind of neat. I'm just kind of waiting around for the helicopter events so that then I can draw them out someplace. And then I can go to, what's it called? McCoy's. That's what I'm trying to get to. You should defend, that's totally, I would as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a car, but I can find one probably at McCoy's. Possibly. Maybe. It takes away from the experience. I couldn't wait for him to see the waves upon waves. Fair. The waves can get pretty insane. That was this pact as Trump's 250th year thing? Oh, so not that much, right? Isn't there a red car outside? Yeah, I don't have the keys for this thing. It was practically empty. Now, the reason why you might be wondering why I did that is because the thing had, the bottle had condensation on it, and I was drawing it off on Odin, and Odin doesn't like the water necessarily, but he does like condensation on things, and it's like cold too, so, yeah. I've seen Rosewood have more Zeds than this. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. That could be frustrating. Wait, I'm lagging? Oh no. Hopefully that's not a sign. The white snowy kitty likes cold, grass is green. I mean, believe it or not, he doesn't like it cold. And I'm like, I'm from Canada. He doesn't like it cold. He likes it a bit cool, though. And same as me. I run very, very hot, so. Also, Mimi, do you do, like, animation content yourself? I'm just curious. I actually might take that. I don't have either cold or hot resistance. So it's funny, I have 0 heat resistance, but I have insane cold resistance up to a certain point, and then I take double cold damage, because I'm literally allergic to the cold. I used to, but I was kind of bad, so right now I'm learning to draw so I can improve. Hey, I mean, that's awesome of you. I hope that works out for you, mate. If you like my content, you can always join my Discord. That's where I am the most. I don't really have a lot of social media. How to draw first before animating? I mean, those kind of are skills that are necessary. If you know how to draw well, I mean, you can at least figure out, you know. I'd have a Habitat Ring or Echinopolis habitability. Or Gaia World. For me, I'd have an Alpine habitability. Yeah, Gaia Worlds. I'd have an Alpine World habitability. I did join. Awesome. Do you have some issues with most part live in a mountain? I mean, I used to climb mountains for a while. Holy shit, Aqua. What's wrong on you? But I do. That game is so much louder than your voice? Is it? I think it's only because of the... I apologize, I guess. How did you get out of the cult without dying? Or is this a new life form you ascended to? Because the cult doesn't, the cult that I was a Jehovah's Witness, they didn't kill you for leaving. They just completely shunned you. I was born to live in paradise, fair enough. The music peaks it a little, but your voice overlaps it just fine. Fair enough. I'll always have to figure out the sound. I heard that Montenegro would have a climate that suits me, but for the pics it seems pretty sunny. I think that's just your partner that's totally not gay telling you that they should go to Montenegro. Kitty rubs? Yes. I wasn't made for this. What, life? Alright, we have a lot of axes now. Like, a lot. So much so that we're kind of weighed down by it, but that's okay. I think. I think. It's a big think. Also, I should check on my Discord. Yeah, Max. Very nice. Happy to have you, Max, here. Trying to find is skulls. If we can find them. Preferably we'll find some skulls. Not caterpillars and not branches. I'm trying to find skulls. You may be asking, why are we trying to find skulls? Well, they're good to make weapons with. Unfortunately, you can't use human skulls. Little wood stroll. Yeah, we're trying to find some stuff. Forage a bit. Organic forest. I hear a zombie. Why do I hear a zombie?
Hey!
Oh dear. What's that? What's up, Odin? Got a little gunk. Alright, let me get that out. I'm sorry. Can I get the gunk out of your eye, please? Can I get the gunk out of your eye? You got a little bit more here. Let me get that done. Odin, please. Please let me get... There we go. Better? Now you must go. Go find and go investigate whatever was going on inside of you. So much hair. Okay. Yeah. What is a zombie doing out all the way here? Is she wearing a leather coat though? I'll take it. She was. A gentle yoink. I've been noticing that my stream calms down around this time every time. And like, so yeah. Why'd she just flop to the ground like that? Odin? That's what he does. And it's he, actually, not a she. Believe it or not. How about you calm D's and D's nuts? Yeah, I'm not. I think that's a job for your wives, not me. No, why flop to the ground like that? Oh, because there was a fence. If there's a fence in the way, they'll flop over to the ground. I feel like you're in a cage swimming with these sharks. I mean, people pay for that experience. They just appear. How? I didn't see the fence. Yeah, I was a little bit hidden. Oops, I actually needed the twine. Where are my pants? Spots. Well, I didn't know that there was a patch in my groin that was taken a chomp out of, so I'll fix that. Well, I fixed the pants. I didn't realize that my groin had an issue. Fixed. Fixed now. Yay. Say what now? Apparently a zombie or someone had just attacked my groin a bit. Wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm just waiting for the helicopter to appear. Got more than enough axes. What kind of freaky zombie was that then? I don't don't want to know. Alright. The helicopter event can spawn any day now. Can't even get anyone and they have zombies going for the results. It's okay. Dating can be hard, I know from experience. The National Museum controversy is almost over, so we'll be able to vote now, but citizenship vote counts as 15%, I heard. And I mean, I'm so happy last project was discarded. Oh. Well, I'm happy that you're happy. Oh, I got a ping. Who dareth ping me? Oh, Battle Nations. Who dareth ping me? They were about to put a box of concrete. I was joking. Fair. Some cat washing in the background. Hell yeah. Yes, he is doing cat things. Oh, fuck. Hello, Sprinter. Goodbye, Sprinter. Not a fan of sprinters. Not a fan of sprinters because they sprint at me and it is really scary, you see. When they run at me, I kind of panic a little bit. If they run at me, I gotta panic a little bit. Sprinters IRL would also be kind of easy to do with if you time your punches right to spin against them. Yeah, unless it's like... Yeah, unless they don't feel pain. In which case, I don't think your punch is going to go through bone. And if it does go through bone, then you're going to have the problem of likely their nonsense infecting you. So yeah, no, sprinters are problematic. World War Z zombies are terrifying. Can you go down, please? Hello? Tough ass zombie, Jesus. Why does he have a cigarette and a doll? I'm concerned. And a crucifix. I'm actually kind of concerned. Because, like, see, trying to lure kids in? It's a priest, or I don't know. I'm concerned.
Hey!
But they might not feel let's still send back by force so I can jump them and kill them, no? Probably not. If they don't feel pain, their initial force is not to jump back, it's to go forward into the pain. Right? They're not gonna jump back. They're gonna like fly at you and jump at you. Check out World War Z. Have you seen World War Z? I could show you a clip of World War Z to show you why that would be, you're dead with sprinters if you try to, like, punch one. Wait, that's a survivor home! I found 3 survivor homes this run. One was incredibly depressing. Hopefully this one's better. They don't, but like force, if someone runs at you, hook them and impact is created? Yes, but if they don't feel pain, right? If you hook them, you need to have more force than the entire body running at you behind your punch. And I don't think you have enough, like, you might be strong, but I don't think, there are not a lot of people that are stronger than that. Right? You need to overcome their force, you need to punch harder than the weight of their body running at you. Time to get out of here. And with some of those nasty impact, but then if you're carrying around a shotgun, you're also carrying a bunch of noise, right? That it attracts a lot of them. And do you have enough bullets? Oh dang, bro, for reals, you were one of those weirdos that used to stand with the Banks book? Yeah, I used to. Okay, that was a little bit dangerous. It might be because of the noise? Exactly. Project Zomboid teaches a few things. Unless you have an unlimited supply of ammo. Guns are not a solve-all situation. What made you finally leave the cult? I left because I developed critical thinking skills and my own my own moral compass. But that doesn't, so sadly. Are you a communist? Not today. That I have a shotgun anyways. Yeah. Oh, that's a little bit of food. I was kind of disappointed by this, but there's at least a little bit of food here. Ah, here we go. Here's some useless stuff that I can't use. Ah! They're all long, blunt weapons. No! Okay. Rippity-doo-dah, rippity-ay. My oh my, such a rippity-day. But at least I'll be able to know that there's food here. Good amount of food. 3 locations nearby that I can zip by when I get a car. Got a lot of food. But I've fired a few guns, but, you know, I've only been hunting twice. I didn't like it too much. One of the things that came to me realizing is, one of the things that I realized was, like, unless I'm in, like, a survival situation, I don't like killing animals. Like, I understand that we would eat it, they eat what we hunted, but I don't need to do that. Hi, I'm a big fan of yours. Really? I have a favor to ask you. Could you look into the camera, really concentrate, really get into it, and laugh while looking at the camera? A couple of seconds, please. Oh, why is that? Are you gonna try to make a cool clip? Are you gonna make a cool clip? Ooh, woo. There you go. Haha. Anyways, there you go. There's your second of laughing at the camera. Made some chicken pea curry, awesome Indian dish. Yeah, that sounds great there, Vexed. Chickpea? I mean, it's okay. The space is fine. I don't like shit myself again, although I eat them, sure, but I can't do myself. I mean, in a survival situation, I'd hunt. I'm not questioning my need to survive. But in a society where I don't need to, I'm not going to. My axe skill is almost level 4 and it feels so strong already. Thanks, we have sent your biometric data to the China Military Science Developmental Engineer. We would like to thank you for your competent service from Shanghai to the stars. Thanks. Uh-huh. It's okay, the Chinese already have my data. I have 10 more billion social credit score. Negative 10 more billion social credit score. You are from the Great Endocrine Republic of Canada. No. We're not a republic. But I am from Canada, yes. We're a constitutional monarchy. Unfortunately. Oh, zombie with a backpack. Sadly, not a satchel. Constitutional Monarchy of Aqua Gaming. So it's a kind of autocracy? Wow, never heard anything about it. Constitutional Monarchy does not automatically mean autocracy. Such tomfoolery, yeah. We're a parliamentary system. Can I get a skull at any point, please? Please. Please! Just want a skull. Like a big skull, not just like a tiny skull. I want to be able to get a jawbone from this. I want to confess to you, this is all not real. This is a one-man show. I'm your only viewer. I write from all my accounts now. Alright. You may do so. Hope he gets therapy. I know. Imagine having a bunch of ults just to like, you know. And me get out. No, I'm fine. I'm not worried about it. See, there are 4 different types of people that come into my chat. Either they're older gentlemen, they're great. They're super nice people that are like genuinely trying to get to know me or enjoy the content that I'm putting out. They're hardcore theists that absolutely hate the fact that I'm existing. Or they're trolls. So, those are like the 4 people. I think I'm falling for you. Well, I appreciate it, but I'm not gay, so I'm sorry to break that bubble. I wish to find a skull. Give me a skull. So last thing I want to say to you, can you do a shout out to my friend? Do you think I'd fall for that so easily? What do you take me for? I am a very acquainted gentleman. Make sure. I don't know what your pronouns are, but if you wish to be a very nice gentleman, then you shall be the very nice gentleman. Let's go. Nice. Skull? Please be skull. It's a caterpillar. How do you... What level do you have to be to get skulls? Skull projects. Oh, boy. I think I'm kind of cast in gentleman, but with a pinch of troll smell. I don't think so. I think you're just a troll. Oh, I don't really care about my pronouns. I mean, fair enough. Up to you. Bull skull. Skill level 0. Okay, so I can always just find it. I'm just unlucky that I found one in 4 days. How much it costs you to show your hedgehog? 100,000 USD. Anybody wants to see a part of the skin on my body that hasn't already been shown? They need 100,000 USD. That's how it works. Family calls me? I mean, that's fair. But what would you prefer to be called? I walked into a bunch of zombies. My bad, G. Maybe 2,000's a deal. I mean, plus I'm a big fan, and you already laugh for free. Do you kind of make a discount? No. No discount. Okay, no problem. They, them is perfectly acceptable. They, how you doing? May the atheist God will enlighten you. Yeah, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Do you like McDonald's French fries? I'm enjoying some of watching you. I mean, they're okay. Atheist God is like dry water? Yeah. Made in the image of God? If that's the case, that's the most depressing news I've heard all day. The internet is made in the image of God. We're all done for. There is nothing left of humanity. Really bad things, yeah. Like the dark internet. You know what my brother said to his grandma when he was dying? He said, "Grandpa, don't get into the Transformer." Grandpa just said, "It's too late, grandson. I've become a super being." Damn, what a sad story. Bruno Mars plays Despacito. Show me no me na di da di di. Mimi, Liberty Prime, also known as Millionaire Trustee, is a known troll. I wouldn't worry about anything he says. He's just saying stuff. Grandson said to her grandma, "What do you see?" The grandfather yelled, "Shop moonshine." At the moment, the grandfather cut the odds and blown to bits by the discharge. That's so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. Shimmy-ya, shimmy-ya, shimmy-ya. Tra-la-la-la. I just want to use the word with R to describe them all, but I can't. Don't! Do not. No, well, no, he's not being hypocritical if he's just being stupid. Like, he knows he's being stupid. It's not even a good troll. No, it's not! Tra-la-la-la. Shimmy-a, shimmy-a, shimmy-a. Tra-la-la-la. Remember, Pomni. Remember, Pomni. It doesn't matter if you shimmy up or shimmy a. All roads lead to Drake. I like Kinger. The goat. Do you know what happened next? The thaumatological outcome, the patriarchal answer, determined the deprivation of mental homeostasis, catalyzing permanent cognitive dissonance. Oh wait, you're that guy that says, like, the craziest things with the most jargon-based technical language because he thinks it's funny when I talk like it. That guy. I know that guy. I've heard that guy. Kinger is the goat indeed, yes. It's news to me that it's news to you. To see who answers to. You could have anything, but in the end, who are we kidding? My divinity is past infinity. Am I getting through to you? Boom, 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 boom. This regime has been falling on south. I just hope the design I voted wins. Yeah. You're sitting here watching a soft-bellied man with no muscle LARP surviving the zombie apocalypse on the internet. You're attacking me. No muscle? No muscle? I think I'm way stronger than you are! Unless you do, like, actual heavy lift, like genuine heavy lifting. Like, if you're not training to do heavy lifting, there's not many people who are going to be stronger than me. Did you finish the entire show already? Yep. It was pretty sad. The grandpa body became kind of blue. He literally became a smurf while he was dying. Holy, oh, am I getting depressed? Why did you make me remember that? Havoc, cult member? Yes. Check the pinned comment, Havoc. Check the pinned comment. He is not attacking, I am. Whoa. Yeah. It can fucking rocks your socks off. I'm pretty strong. Is that... Was the key inside the tree? It has no gas. I found the key to the van, but it has no gas. Because why would it have gas? Anyways. Have you read any of the Harry Potter series? No, I have not. I'm happy for you, bro. Thank you. I found the key for the van. Fine. What happened with the dude of the rhetoric questions? I'm not sure. You know what happened after? The electrical destruction of the Patriarch Soma induced cyanatic pigmentation and transcendental annihilation raised the substance to its zenith. Impressive. Jack's got off screen. I mean... I do not like the ending for the show. I did not like the ending of that show at all. You're just an insensitive person? I'm sorry. It's very hard to relate. Prove it. Lift the couch behind you? What do you mean, lift it? What do you mean by lift it? Like, just the whole thing? Probably not. It's a little bit unwieldy to be lifted. It's a little unwieldy to be lifted, like, just straight up. I can definitely lift the side of it. I can move it. It's not hard. Like, it's not that heavy of a thing, right? Like, it's genuinely not heavy whatsoever. I can do it with 2 fingers. Like, one side of it. I can move it with 2 fingers. That's not heavy. That proves nothing. If you think that's all it takes to prove that I'm strong, that's really sad. Your changes are inappropriate because your stagnation determines frustration, cognitive repression, and the total collapse of interpersonal empathy. Yeah. Prove it. Prove what? Safety. It said lift the couch. Like I said, it's not that heavy, right? And it's kind of like really unwieldy to hold it. Why didn't you like the ending that much? Oh, because how they portray abstraction, which is an allegory for suicide, and I hate how they portrayed suicide in that show. Prove the couch is not that heavy? I don't know. The fact that I just, like, lifted it up like this. Oops. Not that heavy. It's just too long to lift it just entirely. It's just long. Remember who you are, the Cucumis sativas. Isn't that a fucking... Isn't that fucking, weed? I know sativa is. By doing one push-up, you can do more than one push-up. But one push-up shouldn't prove you're strong whatsoever. One push-up is nothing, yeah. What is the automated? Oh, it is there. Perfect. Bro, it's just trying to make Aqua not play the game, apparently. Cost like 100,000 USD. No, it cost doing 10 push-ups on my stream cost 500 points. If you get 500 points on my stream, you can make me do push-ups. Prove you have what it takes. Okay, clear skies. Thick fog today. Yep, weather period predicted to end of the night. Expecting light to moderate rain. Okay. Tomorrow. Clear skies. Okay. Thick fog tomorrow again. Morning. Expected showers of heavy rain. Else. One of each? What do you mean one of each, Saberith? And wait, you come in doing one of each? One of each of what? Is it like burpees? What did I put in? Push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, squats. Okay, that's fair enough. I can do that. I can do that. Thanks, Saberith. I hate you. So we got 1 jumping jack. Very hard. Extremely hard. I can do that better. 1 jumping jack. Then we got... Could be better. You can do a burpee. 1 burpee. 1 sit-up. And... 1 push-up. There we go. Thanks, Saberith. Oh. That's on my Twitch chat, by the way. IRL best friend from the local comic book store? No, I don't think we are. Yeah. Okay, so the helicopter event isn't happening today, which means that it's probably happening tomorrow. Feck. It's on the Ontario city side. It's called Cuckold's Books and Things. Yeah, I don't live in Ontario. Your nosognosia of Cucumis sativa status catalyzed the destruction of my mental homeostasis, including clinical depressive syndrome. Damn. Well. Technically, we're able to get gas. Gas for that. I barely keep up. I don't know. Don't ask me. Project Zomboid Build 42 map. From there is no place. No. Then leave if you're getting depression. Just leave. Follow the tracks. Tracks will lead us to the gas station. Is it faster to get there or go through downtown? Downtown Muldrow will get me killed. Just need to get to the gas station. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll see if it's even possible to get to. We will try to get to the gas station. Because if I can get even just a tiny bit of gas, that'll help me immensely. It's like 2 hours at midnight for me. Fair enough. I really hope this isn't a sign of zombies to come. Whoa. 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 At least there's no sprinters. Whoa. I do not like how there was tons of zombies in the middle of the forest. That's beyond concerning. Push ahead a little bit, but... zombie. I got pinged twice on Discord. I got pinged by Damax and GSN. Well, could I get an explanation as to why there were 10 more billion zombies here? I think the gunshot attracted a lot of them, but I didn't expect them to be attracted that much. Something ridiculous. Hi, I will respond. Why does my character smell something really bad? Oh, that's why. Because there was a bunch of zombies. I couldn't hear them, I could smell them, though. I should have backed up. Thankfully, no sprinters. Something reasonable. Ow. What's the worst answer you got on your knock or most memorable knock? If you don't mind sharing, I was curious to my random moments. I, one time, had a woman answer the door completely naked. And my only response was, "You look busy, maybe we'll come back later." And I left. Probably one of my most memorable moments. Such a non-bothered reply. I mean, technically what she did was a crime, because, like, I was 16. Her for answering so bad, yeah. So technically what she did was a crime. Because I was 16 at the time. So, yeah. Oh, I was definitely bothered by it. I just, you know, I'm really good at hiding my internal thoughts. Oh, hell nah. Sewer ass for a long time ago. I didn't even think about it being, like, a crime. I just thought she was just being, like, stupid. Like, she was just trying to get us away. Like, that's how I perceived it as. Yeah, witness. But that was, like, my standard, like, reply to when people, like, were busy or something. I'm like, oh, it's okay, we can come back. But yeah. I've had something similar like that happen to me when I was delivering pizza too, but I was a good Jehovah's Witness boy. I would not be tempted by the harlot of the world. Looking around for a solid 2 minutes? Yeah, I have no idea what he's up to. Sapling. Man, I wished I was doing a spear build. I'm going to sleep. All right, have a good night, Mini. Have a good night. Hope to see you some more. The no transfusion thing bothered me, like, relax, we're trying to keep alive it, but, oh, well, that's just due to, like, dogmatism. Bothers me, too. Especially since children have died and they've bragged about it. Look how these children were martyred. They martyred themselves for their faith. Be like these children. So yeah, that was a thing they did. Paper bag. That was weird. Hey guys, I got to put on the screen I'm an atheist so I can get attention my parents never gave me. Oh, my parents gave me a lot of attention growing up. They don't give me any attention now. Since I left, you know, the faith. But, like, it's funny that you think that me putting on an atheist makes me think that I'm putting on attention, right? Saying who I am is apparently giving myself attention. Like, what I think and like, my thoughts and stuff like that is putting out attention. You can always scroll up. You can always scroll up. But you know what? I do like the attention. Otherwise, why would I be doing this? So thanks for the comment, I guess. It's always good to have someone, you know, give me exactly what I want, I guess. Martyr Youth of Youth is definitely a line. Yep. Oh, hello. I didn't expect so many of you. Are you a Christian then? I guess. We all want, until we want alone time. Or when we want to shoplift. Yeah, that's true. Nah, he's probably a deist. Maybe a Philbro. I think he has Kant in his picture. I think that's Kant. That looks like Kant. Hello, JD Advance. Jesus. I didn't expect there to be that many zombies. I went through all my axes already. It would be better to ask for forgiveness for stealing bread than to ask for bread is how I gauge it. I don't know. When it comes to God, I have zero belief that that thing exists. I mean, evidenced by the fact that I'm an atheist. crispy square. Believe there is something, not nothing. Well, atheist means I don't believe in any god. I don't believe in any god at all. Odin, you cannot rest on my keyboard. Wow. Burned through so many zombies. Burned through so many axes. We're down to one. It's agnostic believes they believe there's something, but probably not generic God. Well, not necessarily. That doesn't mean that. Agnostic means without knowledge, right? Agnostic means without knowledge. So they're not. They don't have any like true like that doesn't mean they might be leaning slightly towards theism or slightly towards but they have no real way to like really they don't feel like they have a really good way to show that that's a thing that one way or the other, right? What you're probably thinking is deist, right? A deist believes in a thing that is a creator, but it may not be a actuating force, but it was a thing, actuating force that it involves itself with humanity. But it's a creator thing. Some versions of deism, not all, I should mention. Pick up hemp. The hemp dog thing. Alright. Well, I think we've survived for a few days pretty well. We survived a weekend game pretty well. Unfortunately, the helicopter event hasn't come. We have a key to 2 vans. Unfortunately, none of them gas. I don't think there's a magic man making stuff in my mind's like, when was the beginning of everything? What was before then? And that's fair. For me, I'm under the current understanding that the universe is eternal. There was never a beginning. Right? Everything, like, has all, like, the universe and the stuff with it is eternal. Or at least time and probably energy is eternal. No, bro, that's theism. What? What is theism? I'm going to quit my game because I'm going to be ending my stream soon, but I have to know what Buttlord thinks about theism. I have to know. Obviously, we're going to have some incredible information on theism from this. Evidently. That guy's definition? No. Theism is believing that a specific personal creator created everything. Oh, his definition of agnosticism? Yeah, no. His definition of agnosticism, I already... That's not theism. That's probably could be close to deism. Can the Big Bang Theory be classified as a deist event since it was a series of events of a thing that happened? No. Because the Big Bang wasn't the start of the universe. It was the start of how our universe currently operates. And, like, how physics operates now. But, the Big Bang, like, is not the beginning of the universe. Right? The Big Bang is just a rapid expansion of the universe. Like, the start of the rapid expansion of the universe. We don't really know what was before then, though. Because, then physics starts breaking down. We might know a lot more if we can get, like, understanding of quantum gravity and all that sort of stuff, but... yeah. Do you think we'll ever know the beginning? For one, I'm not sure if there is even a beginning. Number two, maybe? I don't know. If we keep applying the scientific method, maybe. There may have never even been a beginning. The universe may have been eternal. If the universe is eternal, there's a chance that we may never know. If the universe had a beginning, there's a chance that we may know. But if the universe is eternal, it is, well, quantifying, like, we might never know. Oh, I don't think we can ever know, because that's just the nature of eternality. So a mind thinks about anyways, not God, but like where it all coming from, especially if matter don't destroy or create. Remember that the laws of thermodynamics only works in closed systems. It doesn't necessarily work the same way in the universe, right? In a universal scale. Because, you know, matter gets annihilated every day. Right? Even in bananas. Bananas have matter annihilation. I'd recommend looking up Dr. Blitz, PhD. Super cool guy. Super cool reading stuff. Well, not reading stuff, but he's an actual physicist that is a good science communicator for this stuff. It's really weird. Was there even physics before the Big Bang? Yes. But it would have been different than what we know of now. At least, likely. Like, more than likely, yes. Just different laws. Different processes. Because physics is just what the universe is doing, right? Processes that the universe is doing. There was stuff, the universe was still doing things before the Big Bang, as far as we know. So, yeah. But that makes energy, but it's still matter annihilation. And there's still stuff lost. I forget what it's called, but there's more to it than that. But it is matter annihilation. And then there's like stuff with antimatter and matter, right? So. But remember that the laws of thermodynamics works in a closed system. You cannot apply the laws of thermodynamics to the universe, because the universe is not a closed system. Cults are cool, sometimes. How do we even have consciousness? How do we get to the point where we question our reality? Just a status of evolution. Right? Consciousness started out from the ability to recognize the difference between matter and other matter, right? So, like, the first protocells could hunt, right? Because you can't hunt other cells effectively without being able to distinguish it from anything else, right? That's how it started. And then that idea, that trait of being able to distinguish matter from other matter kept getting more and more sophisticated as evolution took its course. and therefore, eventually, coming across us as a species. To be able to not only question our matter from other matter, not even just distinguishing ourselves as matter from other matter, but also being able to question, how our matter creates consciousness. At least that's how I'm under the assumption of. Mind over matter? We are matter, though. That's the thing. Right? We're just distinguishing. Yeah, see you next time. I'm going to be heading out. So for those of you on YouTube, the show is now over, but for those of you on Twitch, the show may not be over. We're going to go find someone to raid. Oh, Rila! Hell yeah. We'll raid the Rila. Alright, thank you so much for watching the stream. I very much appreciate it. I hope that you all have a fantastic evening, and I hope that you stay safe, sleep well, and do not let the duck bugs bite. And until next time, bye-bye for now.
I hope you feel better.